middle of Kentucky, there is the 9th largest reservoir in the United States with over 1,200 miles of shoreline and 65,000 acres of land it covers. So on this huge lake in Kentucky, you have one of the biggest poker runs this side of the Mississippi. And every year it just continues to grow. And the particular year we went, there were 180 power boats signed up for the poker run itself. But most people don't go there for the poker run. They're there for the party. So what you end up having is hundreds, literally hundreds of huge houseboats. I'm talking like 4, 5, 6 bedroom houseboats with slides on them and live DJs and everything, lined around the party cove, not to mention the ones that are at State Dock. And on top of that, you have, like I mentioned before, 180 the world's most expensive and fast power boats. I'm talking multi-million-dollar boats going, 200 plus miles an hour. And it is just a crazy scene. So this particular year we went, we said at the beginning of the year, we said we're definitely going. And at the time I had a Baja, a 32-foot Baja Outlaw with twin HP 500 Mercruiser engines. They made 500 horsepower each. So it was a 1,000 horsepower boat, and it ran 75 miles an hour. And to prepare for the upcoming boating season, we pulled the engines out and drives, and I had the transom redone, and I re-rigged the boat and did a bunch of maintenance on it and everything. Just prepared it for anything we threw at it. And really glad that I did, because the water there is so unforgiving, and I'll get to that later. Come second weekend of September, that's when the poker run is, and most people go the week prior to that and they just make it a week-long thing. But we decided to go for a long weekend, and we loaded up the boat and we started our, I think, 5-hour drive heading west to Kentucky. We stayed in a hotel that was like 15 miles from the State Dock, if you're covering water. And it ended up being a nice little spot. It was in a little town outside. Like I said, the lake covers 5 counties. So we had a really kind of away from everyone and the party and the crowd boat ramp. So the 2 mornings, well, the afternoon and the following morning that we had to launch the boat, it just went really smooth. There wasn't, wait or anything. And it was only like 5 or 10 minutes from our hotel. So anyways, we stop at the gas station, we load up on drinks and ice, and put $400 worth of fuel in the boat, and we go down to the ramp and we launch it. And this is my first time there. Like I said, our buddy was the only one that had been there before, so it was all new to us. And we already are in awe. We hadn't even got to State Dock, where the actual poker run takes place. So we launch my boat and we immediately get out into open waters, and I'm seeing like Apaches and cigarette boats and MTI, just like amazing boats. And I didn't grasp how far we were from the actual, crowd. And we're already seeing these boats. So, like I said, we were cruising like 50 miles an hour, and it took us about 15 or 20 minutes to get to State Dock, which on the water, that's a pretty good trek. And we get there, and then it's just unbelievable. I mean, literally, you've got helicopters flying over you, and these $1 million boats just going like 100 miles an hour plus on the water, and everybody's catching air, jumping their boats. And so this lake has solid rock shoreline, where it's man-made. It's just built into the mountains. And it really, when you have literally thousands of boats at one time, it just creates such a wake. I'm talking like huge swells. You might as well have been in the ocean. And it made for an interesting time. So the first day we go out there, we went to the party spot, So Harmon Cove is the party spot there, and it is this pretty deep little cove, and there's thousands of boats. There's thousands of boats. I mean, there's hundreds of houseboats on the outside, and like I said, they've got live DJs and pools, and you pull into this party cove, and it's just every boat just stacked on top of each other for probably a half a mile in multiple strings. And everybody, they're on rafts and they're drinking and they're yelling on their loudspeakers and they're playing music, and it's just an unbelievable scenery. It literally, nothing can prepare you for this until you get there in person. So in the party cove, there's like 2 center strings of boats that literally is like a mile long, and then you've got the outside that's surrounded with houseboats, and of course boats attached to those too. So what it creates is like a long loop, and you just cruise through that loop. It's like cruising the strip, like at the beach or something. So you're in your boat, you're blasting music. Literally no one even knows who you are there. There's just so many nicer things than you got, and everybody's got their own little party. But so you're cruising around this party cove, and it's literally Mardi Gras on the water. I mean, this right here is how we all were. And you throw beads at girls, and you know what happens next. And they're covered in beads, and like people's throwing beads at you, and shot glasses and beer koozies that like has their company names on it, or just like some raunchy joke. I mean, it just was wild. And then they've got their banners on their houseboats, like that's got funny things on them, and mostly inappropriate things. And speaking of inappropriate, do not take your kids there. Like, I will never allow my kids to go to this place. After a long day, of being in Party Cove and having fun, we go over to State Dock, and this is on Saturday night, and we get some dinner. Well, we didn't even know, like, the party was just starting. State Dock actually has a stage set up, and they have a live DJ, and they have tons of vendors, and all the boats that performed or competed in the poker run, they go back to State Dock, and they're backed in, and they got their lights on and everything. They're showing off, and you got people in like team uniforms with like their team shirts on, Team Skater and MTI, and just ballers out here. And you just walk around the dock, and like it's just crazy, and like the night's just getting started. And once the dance floor like comes to life around like 10 p.m. It doesn't stop until like 3 in the morning, and that's just when the DJ stops. Nobody stops partying. From there, everybody goes to their boats. Like, they just don't stop. Saturday night, like, we hung out, and we met up with some friends, and we partied a little bit, and we ended up not even going back to our hotel room. We literally could have got our hotel room for one night, and it would have been fine. We all slept on my boat. We woke up the next morning at like 8 a.m. and there was fog on the lake. It was kind of an eerie feeling. Yeah, we took the boat out and headed back to West Virginia. So if you have a boat and you don't hate fun, definitely take it to Lake Cumberland. It is an experience like no other. I personally haven't been to Mardi Gras, but I think everybody just has a general understanding of what Mardi Gras is like, and definitely Mardi Gras on the lake. You will not be disappointed. And like I said, don't take your kids. Also, don't take your wife.